Going to my mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night I was on television. I was on a telephone, rapidly rising, and with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's lives reflected in the NHDI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to flip him and forget to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. I don't think as the idea that political coverage. I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingersong. I can't get this to function at all. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. No idea. No idea. No idea.
Havana, ooh, na, na. Hey. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. Hey.
Okay, so since Trump won the election, we're cooked. Yup. I'm gonna be leaving the U.S. and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii.
Here's your sign. Well, as Bill Engvall once said, stupid people should have to wear signs. That way you wouldn't ask them anything. Yeah. So could you tell... Oh, sorry. I didn't see your sign. Well, folks, tonight we have confirmation from New York that the first flight full of useless celebrities, sports icons, fake news propagandists, and political frauds departed late this afternoon from New York, destined for Cuba. As an outgoing act to help his band of fellow delusional leftist half-wits, Sleepy Creepy Joe Biden arranged for a U.S. Air Force C-17 flight in clear violation of the law. But unlike the recent case of an illegal campaign contribution for Kamala Harris, accepted from the grifter Volodymyr Zelensky by flying him to a Scranton ammunition plant on an Air Force plane. This time, we may just look the other way around. We're so grateful to simply be unburdened by the likes of Dystopian View co-host Whoopi Goldberg, Joyless Behar, dim-witted Hollywood twinkles George Clooney and Julia Roberts, fake news clowns Joyless Reed, Joe Scarborough, super creepy Stephen King, and chief propagandist for the Biden regime, America's favorite lesbian Haitian, whom we can confidently report tonight is not moving to Springfield, Ohio, Karine Jean-Pierre. Our on-site reporter, JT Facts, that's just the facts, was unable to confirm whether the flight included Robert De Niro, Bruce Springsteen, J-Lo, Sharon Stone, Cher, Sophie Turner, who vowed to go back to the United Kingdom. Hey, Sophie, there are daily flights from JFK and Newark going to the UK, sweetheart. Billie Eilish, Will Ferrell, Viola Davis, Katie Couric, Alyssa Milano, Harrison Ford, Reese Witherspoon, Madonna, Zoe Saldana, Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke? The dude is 98 years old. What a tragic way to tarnish your legacy, Dick. Continuing with the list of A-list desperately seeking a seat on the Air Force dumb, Christina Applegate, Eminem, Angela Bassett, Tyler Perry, Katy Perry, no relation, Rosie Perez, Ariana Grande apparently missed the charter flight while licking donuts at a Manhattan Dunkin' Donuts. Now, we could go on, but you get the point. We will soon be unburdened by the egotistical arrogance of A, B, C, and D-list celebrity know-it-alls. Or will we? Somehow, I doubt that burden will disappear. In exclusive this evening, Chris Wyatt Reports can confirm that the disgruntled Americans and wannabe Americans who reportedly landed in Havana hours ago were shocked when they were met at the airport with Kalashnikov rifles and zip ties before being whisked off to communist detention centers. Katie Perry, as this developing story breaks.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Well, that didn't go very smoothly at all. That did not go smoothly at all. Well, I rushed to get back on air, folks, just finishing an epic rugby broadcast where the Wallabies came from behind, literally at the last moment, to pip England at the pipe, 42-37. What an epic rugby match that was. Woo! And so you've seen my secret video, which I've just played for you. I thought that was kind of clever. The celebrities flying to Cuba. If Trump wins, I'm leaving America. I'm moving to Cuba. So long to you. But meantime, we did have another video we were supposed to play. And that one, just to get you in the mood here, folks. Just to get you in the mood here. So here we go. This will take away. Tom McDonald, folks. Don't let the big door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Welcome back to the program once again. Did anybody see Tom McDonald's Garbage song? I heard that came out yesterday. It was supposed to. Anyway, let's look and see if we can do. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. I've been so busy. So Garbage, Aarbage, Tom McDonald. It looks like he didn't finish it. Or it's being hidden very well. White Trash 4 years ago. No, he didn't do the Garbage song. Looks like it's not there. All right, well, I was looking forward to a song by Tom McDonald. Charmaine, your comments are here. Let me see what's going on with you. I can see your comments. Let me greet everybody. We'll get to the news. Pablo Charlie's here. Dylan Combrick, Val Cooper, Jan Filion, Pablo Charlie. I already said that. Charmaine, you're here. Good evening to you. Erica, welcome to Erica. Hakan Engman in from the Netherlands. Trevor Bush is back again. Shawnee, wow, a news broadcaster. Yes, I do them as long as the rugby doesn't interfere with it on the weekends. Hakan Engman, I just try to do it the best time I can. Thank you for being here. Backwoods Law, good to see you again. It's been a long time. How you doing? Light Rain, John Hoochin in from Arizona. James Bowie, Meerkat, Shawnee, pre-recorded. Not really premiere, I just played it on air. And Richard Kuhn, I want to get your thoughts on that. These Hollywood cabal dregs already have homes offshore. Good evening, George Steinberg in from Heckport. Mike is in from Philadelphia. Giggles. Can we talk about the potential cabinet positions I've seen on Fox and CNN? Sure, Pablo. You want to talk about it? Raise it for me. Interesting to hear that most of these names Chris is reading there is on Diddy's list. Yeah, they are. Most of them on P. Diddy's list. That's for sure. Pretty sure the clown show will continue. You're right about that. It's not going to stop. The resistance is already in full motion. Charmaine says she's so over YouTube. Every time she logs in, she gets thrown out or pauses and forces me to reload. Well, there's something going on with YouTube right now. I've had tabs keep crashing on me. I've had things freeze on me. I was watching Ronaldo yesterday, and his just froze on me. I had to crash it and restart the browser. It's not my browser. I tried another browser. Same thing happened. There's something going on with YouTube. They're having some struggles right now. So hang in there, Charmaine. You haven't been shadow banned because we see you. Shadow ban is normally involves people's content creation. So you're there. Trump must keep Pompeo out. Yeah, a lot of people not happy with Mike Pompeo. Help them pack their bags. That's right. Don't let the good Lord hit you with the don't let the big door hit you with the good Lord split you. If liberty and justice ain't enough, pack your bags. You're free to go. I love it. With shirt, will you chase viewers away? I'm not going to chase any viewers away. People understand. It says I'm doing a great job, Captain. Oh, my Captain. Well, thank you very much for that. I'm trying it. I'm trying. Anyway, folks, yeah, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you join me once again. Well, what do I have underneath this? Okay, how about this? We'll do the change right now. You guys ready for this? If my nipples are exposed, this is not OnlyFans. I'm just saying. Big reveal coming. Here we go. Big reveal coming. You ready for this? An American flag. Woo! That's actually more comfortable there. There we go. What's with Mike Pompeo? He's excellent. He's considered a neocon by many people and just someone that can't be trustworthy. I don't personally have issues with Mike Pompeo, but I get where people come from. I've seen a few security reports that Google is getting targeted by some crybabies. That would explain why YouTube is having some hiccups right now. The crybabies. The problem is that crybabies work in tech industry. They work in the tech industry. So just like when they sabotaged Twitter, when Elon Musk took over, they do the same thing with other sites. Anna Paluna is the whole cabinet position. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. A junior congresswoman from Florida who's a military veteran, but young enlisted soldier who has no experience in anything other than modeling. I don't think she's the right pick for any cabinet position. Charmaine says makes sense. Yeah, no, it happens, Charmaine. They're having problems. The whiny crybabies are attacking the social media because they don't like it. So African Idiot, is that better? We won't chase anybody away with this shirt, will we? Thanks for being back here. 82 people, 39 likes, no super chat revenue, and no new viewers. You see the Trump Vance sign up there. You see the you can't fix stupid, but sure can vote it out sign over here. Lots to talk about as always. We'll start with South Africa and work our way around the globe, talking about the resistance here in America. I did do a video on the program. I don't know if anybody watched that video. Did I put it on here? No, I put it in the other channel. So my Donkey Boyson video is doing okay. Not great, but okay. With recent video successes, it's kind of in the zone for average. Yep, but have gained some subscribers. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers, which has never been achieved on this channel. We are just 12 subscribers away. I plan to do an EFF video, and hopefully that'll push us over the top. I'll do that once I'm finished with this. The new Chris Super Chat, Ronaldo going to be upset. The movie's better than his. What? The moves is better. No idea what you're saying, Monray. Elon just bought YouTube. I don't think so. I don't think so. That it seems highly unlikely. People have been making that rumor, but they're going to want a lot of money for that. There's a video on it. Viral video claiming that's from October 21st. They got him buying Ford. No, he didn't buy Ford. 7 minutes ago, Elon Musk just bought. Is Elon Musk? No, he's not buying YouTube. It's owned by Google. Exactly. Yeah. So people are these must be parodies. You guys, you got to be careful here. Okay. Got to be careful here. People. Yeah. It's just I don't. People do this for, and they probably get like 1 million views. If I did, I'd get 1 million views. But then I'd squander all my credibility. I'm not going to do that. March 10th, Elon Musk is gearing up to take on YouTube. Taking on YouTube is not buying YouTube. You got to be careful there. That's just nonsense rumors. Hey, Chris, have you submitted your CV to Trump administration? No, I haven't. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm going to contact a friend of mine who worked in the previous Trump administration. John Bolton is one pissed off man. Yeah, John Bolton is a loser. He always has been. He's a neocon, and he's a troublemaker. I don't know how he ever got into the previous Trump administration. That was a dumb move. A dumb move. Marilyn, there you go. My host extraordinaire, Marilyn Lindsay. How y'all doing today? So good to see you there, Marilyn. Yeah, so Alphabet is the company that owns Google. That's correct, which owns YouTube. So, yeah, exactly right. 90 people here, folks. Yeah. Tom McDonald's garbage song apparently didn't make it. It just had a big power failure in PE. Okay, all right. Did it knock Ronaldo off air? G. Thorogood. Is that George Thorogood? Bad to the bone. Message for gossip mongering morons talking about without thinking when they think they use less than 1% of their brain. Scott is alive. Just an end to an era. He's moved on to you are all no idea what that's supposed to be. Okay, G. Thorogood. I never claimed that. You talking about Scott Balson? I never claimed he's dead. That was Byron. He claimed to have knowledge he's dead. I said that's news to me. I haven't heard about it. So there's no reason to come on here and be disrespectful to people. The people on here who heard that were by and large respectful to Scott. So I'm not really sure why you're putting that stupid comment up there. That's just disrespectful and rude. Send a message to Colonel McGregor. He knows the path if you're serious. Okay. How do I get in touch with McGregor? Okay. Nearly 60% of infant and toddler foods sold across grocery stores in the U.S. do not meet nutritional standards set by the World Health Organization. Really, Pablo Charlie? That's news to me as well. Yeah, the Colonel's mustache trumps Bolden's. Yeah, it probably does. Anyway, so G. Thorogood is saying that Scott is alive. Well, that just proves to you that people spy on my channel. So people from that orbit, it just proves that they spy on this channel. We've noted all along based on the dislikes that show up on videos, like when we show ice cream and kids having a good time, or rugby, and we still get dislikes from a certain number of demented hate wankers. I'm not saying that G. Thorogood is. I'm just saying that clearly people are spying on this channel. They're so demented and obsessed with my channel. It's funny. We haven't mentioned Scott Boston probably about 9 months. Anyway, and it just came up in the course of something else unrelated to Scott. So, yeah. But that's what Byron said, that he died, and, Ronaldo said nice things about him on his channel. So, anyway, but welcome back. That's fascinating. Wherever Scott is, whatever he's doing, he's still in people's minds. But his Loving Life TV domain is gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. But that doesn't mean the guy is gone. It just means that the site is gone. Our country, our choice. Okay. All right. So, Mike, send me a note, Mike, if you don't mind, and I'll reach out. No, I'm serious. I mean, I need to save this country. I do what I can to save it. Yep. Dylan misses the disinformation. None of my comments or replies are made through YouTube censorship. Never knew my opinion was that important. Charmaine, maybe they haven't, but I see that. You must be writing something that pisses them off. I'm not seeing any of your comments being deleted, so they're being deleted before they get to us. So anyway, I changed the shirt, African Idiot, and you went silent, man. You'll email me. Thank you for that, Mike. I appreciate that. There's also something else on the wind that's a possibility for me too, and I have to make a decision here very quickly before someone else fills the slot. It's more local, so wouldn't have to move. Wouldn't have to get an apartment down there in D.C. It's more local, so we'll see. But no, I definitely would really want it to make a difference here. So. And change things. Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. What's your opinion? I don't know. Let's see some other names thrown out there first. Marco Rubio is a wannabe Tea Party guy. He latched on the Tea Party. He's proven to be more of a Gang of Six kind of guy in the Senate. I don't like the Gang of Six. This is Democrats and Republicans who get together and then they decide they're working together in a bilateral relationship that is always disadvantageous to conservatives. So I'm not a fan of the Gang of Six. Anyway, that's just kind of where that's at. 100 people here right now. We haven't even touched on the news. So gosh, nobody cares about Julio Malema and his theories. Let's talk about USA. Listen to book from Blair Delaray earlier, Blood Pressure Out of Control. Great song. Shame that ego trumps brains so often. Loving life and dears come to mind. Be careful, people profiting from misery. I have no idea what Arctic is talking about. What's your opinion of Vivek? Well, Ants, I've talked about Vivek Ramaswamy many times. I was not my pick for candidate, but I have a lot of respect for the guy. He's really, really smart, and I like his non-racial approach to things. I like his common sense approach to things. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a brilliant guy. I think there should be a role for him in administration if he wants it. You need a commander of reestablished Pennsylvania State Guard like Texas has. I'm not in the Pennsylvania Guard, so and I'm a officer in the Army, so I'm not really sure how that works. The Department of Defense would have to allow me to do something like that because I'm still on the retired list. So, Ants is a big fan of Vivek. Yeah, no, I like him. I have no problems with him. I'm not a fan of DeSantis, though I have nothing against him. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of. Wasn't a fan of J.D. Vance, but I've come around to where I'm starting to like J.D. Vance. I mean, the guy is brilliant. When he speaks to people, he reminds me of me, except he's not as good looking. Now, how's that for an ego, Arctic? How's that for an ego? Chris, I don't comment as much as I ask loaded questions. Wouldn't it be better to build new schools that would accommodate the population growth? Yeah, that's a problem, Charmaine. If you ask loaded questions, YouTube's AI takes them out, and we don't even see them. Would like to see General Flynn in a senior position. I would not like to see General Flynn in a senior position. I've never liked General Flynn. He was insubordinate when he worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency, undermining the Obama administration. And I'm no fan of the Obama administration, but I am a fan of order and a fan of people doing things properly. African Idiot just gave me a 350 Rand super chat for taking off the Australian shirt. If I know it was going to give me super chats, I'd take more shirts off. Who's Bill Hagerty and Richard Grenell? Richard Grenell, Pablo Charlie, is the first openly gay member of a cabinet. He was Donald Trump's ambassador to Berlin, openly homosexual. When he got to Germany, the loving, caring, LGBT plus Q, loving the gay community Germans were obnoxious, homophobic slimeballs who slandered him, said homophobic smears against him, basically called him an F word, all this kind of stuff. These loving, leftists, that's what they did in the SPD and others and the German government. They undermined his position as ambassador, but he persevered. Now, that I respected for Richard Grenell for, and I respected Trump for picking him. He was a good choice. He has a good idea when it comes to affairs for Europe, not the rest of the world. Doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, but he certainly knows Europe. And I thought that was a good pick. Then Trump nominated him to be the acting director, he picked him to be the acting director of national intelligence as a cabinet position, and he became the first openly gay. So here we go. The first ever gay person openly to serve in a cabinet, Donald Trump, the homophobe. The first ever woman to serve as White House Chief of Staff, Donald Trump, the man who was a misogynist. It's just so stupid. Trump has done more first than anyone else in history. And he did it without going, well, I'm only going to pick a gay person. I'm only going to pick a... No, he didn't do any of that because he's not an idiot. That's what the Democrats do because they're idiots. And so what do? Oh, Joe Biden, my next pick will be based on genitalia. You must have a vagina and you must have a good dark tan. And then that's your qualifications. And that's how Ketanji, whatever the hell her name is, became a member of the Supreme Court. Utter idiots. So Grenell, I don't like him. I don't like him at all, because he's a slime ball in my view. When Kathy Barnett ran for the Senate here in Pennsylvania against McCormick and Dr. Oz, the carpetbagger, Kathy Barnett, thank you for the super chat, Pararuan. That's to keep the shirt on. Oh, okay. So if I keep it on, I get money, but that's less money than taking it off. Thank you for the super chat. No, Rick Grenell ran a slimy campaign against Kathy Barnett when at the end of the campaign, she suddenly got attention in the media and she surged and she was in the lead. She was doing better than Dr. Oz. But Dr. Oz was Rick Grenell's handpick. He was Donald Trump's guy because they told him to go with him because he's a TV celebrity. So Rick Grenell ran a slimy political campaign against Kathy Barnett, lying about her military service. I did a video on that, which Dr. Steve Turley or somebody shared, and it did pretty well. But I did a video on that exposing how Rick Grenell is a slimy human piece of feces, the way he behaved, undermining her campaign because he didn't like her. Now, she's a black woman. She's the product of rape. Her mother was raped at 11 years of age or 10 years of age and gave birth to her when she was like 11. And she was counseled to abort the child. And Kathy Barnett is a successful former military officer, investment banker, and ran for the Senate here in Pennsylvania. And she was smeared by Rick Grenell. And so I have very little respect for him because he smeared her just to get his handpicked loser candidate in place so that John Doofus brain-dead Fetterman could become the senator. Rick Grenell undermined Pennsylvania. He stuck his nose in our business, and I have no use for Rick Grenell. So there's my thoughts, Pablo Charlie, on Rick Grenell. Okay? All right, Carrie Lake is not popular among McCains, but I hope she makes it. She's probably not going to make it. Let's quickly take a look before we get to the news at what's going on out there in Arizona. So I'll go to the New York Times website, and let's see what they've got. I got to go. They've moved it all around now. Go to elections 2024. We will go to, where the hell's it at? Come on, it's somewhere here. They keep changing it. Now I can't find it at all. Live updates. There it is. Live updates. Let's go to the Senate in Arizona. They've called every race except Pennsylvania and Arizona. In Arizona, she is trailing by 34,000. She's closed the gap, but she's running out of votes. A 34,000 vote difference now. And the Green Party guy got 58,000. 38,000 votes, or 36,000 votes, 34,000 votes, 33,000 votes is the difference. It's very close, but she's only got 17% of the vote left. She better hope. Let's take a look at Arizona and zoom in and see. So the one good thing for her is Cochise County is still slow. Cochise County, where she's getting 62% of the vote, she is ahead of Gallego by 8,000 votes. Let's just say that we double that, okay? Just to be fair, they both get double. Then she would have 34,000. He would have 18,000. That would give her about 17,000 more votes there. and that would be half of what she needs to defeat him. But that's just Cochise County. There aren't many other places like that. Yavapai County, where she's winning big time. She's 73% of the votes, and she can close some of the ground there, but only 25% more. So she currently has a 33,000 vote lead. So let's say she gets 25% more with the same lead. That's going to be 30. That's going to be 7,000 more. Add that to the 14,000 or 16,000. That's 23. That gets her close, but that's not enough. And then 91% of the votes are in the county she's doing the best, and that's Mojave County. So she's up in Mojave County by 50,000. So if 10%, maybe 5,000 more, it could come down to a very close race. Most of the other ones, well, Yuma County, she's ahead and only 55% in. Arizona's taking a long time. And then, of course, Gila County, she's way ahead, but that one's almost done. Yeah, so the rest of the state, Ruben Gallego has a chance to take some votes on her, one of the other counties. So the concerning thing is that Pima County, where Gallego's way ahead, has 76% of the votes, and Phoenix County 84%. But that's close. That one's really close. Maricopa County is, of course, where Phoenix is at. So Maricopa is actually close, 4-point difference. If she can close the gap in Maricopa and she can take those other counties big, she can win it. But it doesn't look promising. I have the scumbag lawyers doing lawfare in Pennsylvania. They are against McCormick. Yes, Erica says, yes, please keep your shirt on. Yes, but let's all just appreciate the Australia-England game. What a stunner. Yeah, it was, Para One. It was a hell of a game. What a stunner. We need Catholic MAGA, not pathetic. Okay, Jonathan. USA's beating Portugal. Okay, Jean Raynell. I had that game on. I've shut it down. So USA beats Portugal. That's a big, big upset there. Huge victory for the Eagles in Portugal. Wow. They were leading 14-10. They were trailing 14-17. They came back and scored 9 more points. Wow. Doug Burgum for Secretary of Energy. I'm fine with that. Yep, that works. Yeah, anyway, let's not get too excited about this stuff. Let's take a look at the presidential race. Donald Trump now has more votes than he's ever had before. In this election, he got over 75 million votes, although the New York Times is behind. So let me go to Decision Desk. That's the one that has more updated stuff. Results, Decision Desk, headquarters, live results, president. Okay, loading the results. Donald Trump, 74,300,000. They've given Arizona to Trump. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Chris Wyatt hits it almost spot nail on the head. Donald Trump, according to Decision Desk, has 312 electoral votes, and that's what I said he had. There are still votes coming in. So Trump's 74 million will increase. I saw somewhere where it was already 75 million. Some votes being reported in other places. But Donald Trump, it's an absolute wipeout, the California difference. Let me just give you the margins here to explain some things to you. While you look at that, let me explain some of these differences. Let me find there it is. Okay. So in 2020, okay, let me just do this. So California and New York are what we're talking about. Notice they're blue. California right now, Trump 4.53 million, okay? Okay, that number has changed. That's gone up since I did it, but I'll have to take a look at this. So the numbers are, so I have to take a look at this because my numbers are off a little bit now because it's changed. Okay. So Trump is almost 40% of the vote, 4.5 million votes in California. He only got 3.4 million there. He got 6 million there last time, excuse me. And in New York, he's got 44%. Look at that. Trump closed the gap big time there. So my figures before, now that was last night when I was working this, before more votes came in, is that in 2020, Biden supposedly got 11 million votes in California out of 38 million people. Trump got 6 million. So that's a 5,104,000 deficit in California. That vote total is still coming in right now. In New York, Biden got 5,233,000. Trump got 3,251,000. You can see his total is higher. Now, that was a difference of 1.9 million. So between California and New York in the popular vote, Joe Biden had a 7,086,010 vote difference in 2020. So in 2024, this is the figure. Okay, those figures I have there are actually correct. This is the figure in 2024. Okay, so in 2024 in New York, where Biden beat Trump by 1.9 million votes, the difference is 900,000 votes. So that's a million vote swing towards Trump in New York State. With 63% of California, now it's 69%, but this was 63%. With 63% of California reporting, the difference was 2.189 million, whereas in 2020, the difference was 5,100,000. So in 2020, California and New York, the difference was 7,086,000 votes between them. The difference in California and New York this time is 3,100,000. She has lost 4 million gap in two states, in just two states. 4 million difference, 4 million votes. Wow. Yes, that's without his 20 million. Next, it's 20 million. What's this? It's interesting to see that the blue states where you see the map don't require voter ID. I'm not sure if that's true at all. Inquiring minds want to know, where did all those 14 million Democratic votes go? Well, she's at 70 million and Joe Biden got 81 million, so it's 11 million votes. The number's narrowing. Have they found 15 million missing voters? Are we just going to talk about it? Putin is actually not anti-Semite. His oligarch circle is filled with Jews, says Pablo Charlie. Okay. K97. Wow, it's been a long time. Welcome back. Keep up the good work. Well, I have. You just got to be watching, man. Jean Reynal, USA. Oh, yeah, you already told me that has beaten Portugal. Okay. All right, so I'm caught up on the chat. Yeah, so Trump currently has more votes than he's ever had before. 62 million to 74 million to 70. He'll have 75 by the time this is over. Yep. He's destroyed her. I like Roman Abramovich, first of all. He brought... Okay, that's not the guy I'm thinking of. Anyway, we got 96 people here, 61 likes. Is the left crowd still crying? Oh, they are crying big time, brother. They are crying in their beers all over the place. It is pathetic. It is sad, to say the least. And I did a little bit of highlighting that when we started this broadcast. Let's get to the news. Mozambique border with South Africa is once again open for business for the moment, as things seem to be calming down a little bit in Mozambique. Pablo Charlie, are you paying a note? Are you paying attention? Business as usual at the Lumumbo border post with traffic flowing between South Africa and Mozambique. On Saturday morning, trucks lined up for 20 kilometers from the border post, Cometa Port, and on the other side, vehicles and people could be seen entering South Africa. Yep, so there you go. It's back. Yeah, I've been working in the USA this year, so I didn't have time to watch YouTube. Oh, Kane, okay, well, welcome back. A showdown looms over Eskom's threatened power cutoff for the city of Johannesburg because they haven't paid their bills. See the new song that's... Charmaine says, did you see the new song from That's Dax with Tom McDonald? No, I don't know who That's Dax. Okay, let me look that up. Who's That's Dax? I've never heard of That's Dax. Okay. YouTube. Okay, let me see. That's... What's it? That's Dax. Yeah, typed it wrong. That's Dax. Okay. Let's see. Never heard of him. That's Dax. Well, there's Dax. What's it called? What's the song? 5 months ago, a year ago. Let me get to his channel. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's Soldier. Okay. That's the one. Okay, let's see it. Hopefully I won't get a copyright claim on this thing. I haven't seen the song. No, Tom McDonald was supposed to be releasing a song called Garbage yesterday, but he didn't. At least I didn't see it. Okay. So, I don't know Dax. Never heard of the guy. Hey, Peter Silliers. How's it going, man? How you doing there? Not really, buddy. You're not a soldier. Not with that haircut. Where's Tom McDonald in this song? I'm looking for it. Okay, where's Tom? Oh, there's Tom. Okay, hang on. Let me get Tom in here. All right, no, I'll check it out later on, but no, that's not something I'm familiar with. Erica, there's Pablo Charlie, Christo Els, Mark Lawton, Aaron Stello Tofu, Brandon Swart, Choco, Zoidquack, Anthony Jenkins. All get it. Did you see the English got a whipping? Peter, I just finished covering the game. In fact, I started this broadcast still wearing this jersey, which is what I wore during the game. I I wore this during the game. So yeah, I saw it. I call it. I have Rugby Ascendant channel. On Rugby Ascendant, I do rugby broadcast, color commentary, Christo Els. Thank you very much. I'm not going to salute everybody today. Starting to lose track of what this channel is about. What do you mean you're starting to lose track of what this channel is all about? Someone asks a question, I answer the question. All right, I was telling the news when that happened. So, Johannesburg, electricity is threatened to be cut off by Eskom. So, civil rights group AfriForum has indicated it's ready to join the fight, and Electricity and Energy Minister Kojisenso Ramakopa will on Monday formally meet with Joburg Mayor Dado Marrero to try to find solutions to the dispute. The dispute is that they haven't been paying their bills. They haven't been paying their bills. So, we have no crisis, says Gate McKenzie. Says MP resignations are part of local elections preparations. Really? So you announce people for parliament and then you put them there for July, August, September, October. 4 months. 4 months they serve in parliament and then they resign to prepare for the 2026 elections. You have no credibility here, Gate McKenzie. This is BS. This is BS. Patriotic Alliance leader Gate McKenzie says all party MPs who resigned are part of a larger strategic move ahead of the 2026 local government elections. 4 PA members, including the youngest ever member of Parliament, Cleo Vilskut, Katrina De Bruin, Gavin Jonas, and Stacey Lee Gabby Kojane have resigned. Wow. So he went on Twitter and says, they're all card-carrying members, have been aware for weeks that we've asked half our MPs to resign and a lot of our councillors. We're preparing for the elections, and this is all part of our strategy. We have no crisis. We have disciplined members that heeded the call of the NEC, National Executive Committee. Disciplined members quit Parliament. Gate McKenzie, what is the role of Parliament? Are you there to represent the needs of South Africans or for political aggrandizement? Answer me that question. Answer me that question. Wow. Thank you, Erica. Unions stage defiant protests as Cyril Ramaphosa whines about how much the Mbizo cost. Well, don't hold Mbizos then. Stop wasting money. But apparently they couldn't afford KFC. So it was cooked chicken and dry biscuits. Well, he should pick other people to be the mayor as their scientists. Does he have that thin a bench? Union stages defiant protests on the Bell Act as residents complain to Ramaphosa and disorganize Mbizo. And quite frankly, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take a 20-year-old mayor to be my mayor. They're not qualified. They're not experienced. They're not ready for that task. So that's just a dumb idea if that's what he's doing. Crime and unemployment concerns around the Polarizing Basic Education Laws Amendment Act, a lack of assistance after natural disasters, and other frustrations are some of the problems facing eThekwini residents. And they put that to Cyril Ramaphosa. And Ramaphosa complained about how there was no money. Well, boiled chicken and a dry roll were served to residents, a downgrade from KFC served at the previous Mbizo in Ladysmith. The event was poorly organized, with journalists and other people being forced to walk almost a kilometer to and from the registration center to the main venue. Technical sound glitches overshadowed the event, causing delays at least 5 times and prompting Ramaphosa to lambaste the disorganized way the event was handled. We pay a lot of money for these Mbizos, he lamented. Wow. So Kaluza asked Basic Education Minister Siviwe Garuba, if you're cutting the education budget and you still declare education a basic human right, where are we going? Well, Siviwe Garuba is not cutting the basic education budget. She's not doing that. The ANC is doing that. She is the minister that has to put it in place. So your question should be directed to Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa. I will never give up. Try next door, says Juju. Julius Malema says, all is well inside the EFF. Now look, his head's too big for his shoulders since he lost weight. While many political pundits say the mass exodus of prominent EFF leaders could signal the death of the party, Julius Malema has vowed to never give up, never surrender. This comes on the heels of Dali Mpofu banning his party for MK. Mr. Ndolozi is being repeatedly abused and bullied, says people in the EFF. Taking shots, the EFF commissar. Yes. He typed into Twitter, only 2 more of your favorites remain. The list will be finalized. They sing beautifully. They're always willing to pose for pictures and sign roll calls. But remember, their souls are long gone. Julius Malema is striking out and just, it's all over. The game is over, man. No, Arctic. I didn't say Cyril has anything to do with the budget. I said direct your attention to Cyril because Cyril is in the ANC. His party is controlling the budget, not the DA. And Garuba has no say in the budget. She has no influence whatsoever. So yes, you talk to Cyril, who can influence it. Malema claims Dali and Pofa wanted to dissolve EFF and unite behind a Zuma-led party. Wow. It's all coming out now. Well, of all that bad news, good news for Julius Malema. We have a little bit of good news for him. Julius Malema had the travel ban to Botswana lifted by the leftist new president there. Congratulations. You can now travel to Botswana, Juju, where that hat is about as popular as syphilis. Botswana travel ban against EFF leader Julius Malema has been lifted so he could go to Duma Boko's inauguration. There's a government notice right there. And these following people, Floyd Shavambu is removed from the list, and a whole bunch of people on there. Miriam Ruiz. Oh, my goodness. He's been banned from Botswana since 2011. Wow. After he made derogatory comments about President Kama. Wow. Juju banned for 12 years, 13 years, and now he's allowed back in. Nelson Mandela Bay is in chaos yet again. This nonsense is unbelievable. Gary Newkirk scheming with the new mayor, Babalawa Lobisha. Well, that poor woman clearly has suffered from the ravages of apartheid and white supremacy and white monopoly capital. I mean, she couldn't be 200 kgs. She's well short of that, so she's suffering immensely. Oh, is that fat shaming? I'm sorry. A week after former Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor Gary Van Niekerk swapped seats with ANC's Babala Lobisha, previously deputy, the newly elected mayor announced the Metro's new coalition government with a surprise absence of the Patriotic Alliance. The Patriotic Alliance has withdrawn from the coalition in Nelson Mandela Bay. Why? Because their partners lied. Wow. The PA believes that after Lobisha became the first citizen with Van Niekerk of the National Alliance by her side as deputy, the ANC changed its tune, allegedly saying the provincial leaders wanted a more inclusive government, national unity type of government. They started by taking roads and transport from the PA and giving it to the EFF without any previous discussions with the PA. Thereafter, they say whichever position the PA gets, they as ANC will decide which PA councillor must occupy it. Wow. After communicating the insults of the ANC towards the PA to our president, Gate McKenzie, we decide the PA will take up seats in the opposition benches and focus on our 2026 election campaign, which kicks off this coming week. Well, there you go. So now the leaders, the coalition leading Nelson Mandela Bay into the abyss are the ANC, the EFF, the Pan-African Congress, the AIC, and the National Alliance and the coalition. Added to them are the Defenders of the People and the Ubuntu Integrity Movement. Well, Nelson Mandela Bay, if it wasn't in the shitter, it's definitely headed that way now. You'd have a better shot at talking to a Sangoma than CR about money. Probably true. Date rape drugs. Wow. Young boys, sex. He had a cruel and sadistic side, says a man who worked for Mark Liffin. Well, the toilet paper record, the IOL, wastes no time in digging up dirt on Mark Liffin to undermine his character without any evidence, but from a homeless witness. As the assassination of Liffin continues to make headlines, one of his former employees has come forward saying he was a cruel man. Speaking of IOL, the former employee spoke under condition of anonymity. Of course, said he was homeless when he was employed by Liffin and was living on a mountain in Sea Point. Really? Okay. Anyway, so he talks all this trash about Mark Liffin, which may very well be true, but the witness's credibility is pretty thin. Well, William Braderode writes this article about the South African Chamber of Commerce in the U.S. and says you better act quickly. You got 6 months. 6 months. Neil Diamond, no, not Sweet Caroline Diamond, but Neil Diamond said the U.S. under Trump administration may introduce changes to trade and immigration rules. Expects for Trump to put America first. But the reality is there's virtually no impact on South Africa. Ulrich says, yep, we need to get a change in PE. Good news. Dolphin Beach and GA Bay is blue flag status, at least some good news for the Eastern Cape. What does that mean, blue flag status? There's no feces in the water? Malema was denied his chance to eat. Arctic just searched his couch about money. Yeah, no, Cyril knows all about money. He's got couches full of it. At this point, everyone should just admit that they can't run any country. Even Botswana will decline with that leftist Pan-Africanist cult. I don't know about that. All right, next on the list is Itaquini Counselor wants a person sanctioned for... Okay, let me just be clear about something very quickly here, folks. If somebody says something that hurts your feelings or you dislike it, that doesn't mean it's racist, okay? Racist is if people attack you for your so-called race. There is no race. We're all humans. But anyway, if they attack you for that, that would be racism. The problem with all this nonsense going on here is it's simply not racism. eThekwini counselor is upset because somebody said something that he considers racist. South Africans need to start growing a thicker skin. This is juvenile and childish. But let's Action SA and EFF needs to go in history books. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So, Action SA, an unidentified ANC councillor hurled a racial insult aimed at the Indian community during a Metro Council meeting. Action SA's Zwakalele Mkwango asked that Council Speaker Tabani Nawaosa to investigate the matter. The DA's Tabani Matoya said the councillor should be subjected to disciplinary action or axed. Okay. All right. So what did they say? On Wednesday, there was a council meeting. A discussion about the ANC motion of the statue came up. This is a statue devoted to the arrival of Indians in South Africa in 1860. And someone from ANC's bench and those next to him know who shouted into Mike that they must go back to Bombay. It's very insulting, and understanding what the discussion was all about. You cannot say on one hand that you want to honor Indians by having a statue erected, and the ANC shouting they must return to Bombay. So that's not racism. That's an insult. It's disrespectful. It's rude. It's not racist. So stupid. So stupid. Racist statements of this nature have no place in any form. Well, it's not a racist statement. You're just a Cassandra. It is disrespectful and insulting. It is not a racist statement. Grow up. Grow up. Just ignore the person, and then no one will listen to them. Fikele Mabalula says the current system has served South Africa well, but the civil society in South Africa wants a more federal system, a more, as Chris Wyatt suggested for years now, you actually vote for the people, not let the parties pick who they are. Yeah, that's what the civic society wants, civil society in South Africa, but the ANC doesn't want to change the system. ANC said the current proportional representation electoral system serves South Africa well. It hasn't, while several civil society organizations are clamoring for change, and rightly so. South Africa's corrupt system prevents the people from actually being represented by people that they don't get a chance to vote for. Well, Charles Kinar's murder is still in the news with another trial going on, this one here. Retired head of the anti-gang unit, Andre Lincoln, said he was threatened with disciplinary action for trying to protect Detective Kinar. He was told that without a threat assessment on Kinar, he would be acting without a mandate. Therefore, he would be harassed. He testified this week at Nafiz Modak's murder trial. Wow. So that gangsterism in the Western Cape is still, wow. Well, a Limpopo contractor who built nothing for 29 million rand, an empty stadium that doesn't exist, is demanding more money while they're trying to get the money back from him. This is more BE garbage. Limpopo contractor cashes in on a $29 million for delivering abandoned stadium turned dumping site. Limpopo service provider, which paid 29 million rand, was paid 29 million for delivering an uncompleted, shoddily built 38 million rand stadium, wants more money for services delivered. What was meant to be the Valtin Mochate local stadium has now been turned into a dumping site and posed a high risk to residents as drug addicts are using it as a hiding place. The company, Dynama Civils, did not have the capacity for such a project, but secured the contract by pretending to be part of a joint venture with a bigger contract. No doubt, paying off bribes would be my expectation. Duma Botha, inaugurated as the president of Botswana, the leftist leader of the Umbrella for Democratic Change, unseated the BDP in huge fashion. Multitudes of people thronged to the National Stadium on Friday to witness the inauguration of Duma Botha as the Southern African country's sixth president. There you go. Masisi ruined the BDP and destroyed prosperity in Botswana, and the BDP is paying a price for it. Activists want to see more women in Botswana's National Assembly. Why? Why is that important? 3 out of 28 female candidates were elected to the National Assembly this week as women's rights activists called on new administration to increase female representation in the nation's politics. How so? By removing existing members of parliament and putting a woman in her place? It doesn't work that way. I pledge to serve all Botswana with unwavering fairness and integrity. Well, I'll hold you to the integrity, but fairness, I doubt that's going to come. We'll see. There's the BDF in their beautiful blue dress uniforms. Yep. New Botswana President Duma Botha said on Friday he pledged to unite the nation after unseating the BDP, which had ruled for 58 years. His inauguration was attended by Paul Mashatile, Julius Malema, and Musi Maimane. Well, that's a crowd you don't need. That's a crowd you don't need. Mother of President of Botswana. Witnessing democracy in Botswana. Julius Malema? Nah, I don't think so. Little tyrant in waiting. And there's the equestrian unit for the BDP. Wow. Paul Mashatile. Well, Zimbabwe is now charging taxes for people using WhatsApp. Can you believe it? All right. Okay. I'm going to deal with this right now. Okay. Savage daughter. Okay. This is not an attack on you, but I'm going to put a stop to this manure right now. You said, heard new Botswana president has told America to remove their army camps. What army camps? There are no army camps in Botswana. This is a fucking lie, and I'm sick of it. Some shithead with 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. Moonbase, thank you for your membership. Your long membership. Oh, yeah, that's your first time. Okay. No, it isn't your first time. You've got the castle. This is bullshit. I'm sick of hearing this nonsense. I lived in Botswana. I ran U.S. military activities in Botswana. We have no fucking base in Botswana. We've never had a fucking base in Botswana. I'm sick of this fucking nonsense. Fucking tards who make stupid videos on YouTube that don't know what they're talking about. They don't. Where's the base? Where's the base? Malema's there. Well, there is no base. Where's the base? Where's the base? Where's the base? Show me the base. Show me the base. There is no base. Tembe Patswa? That's a BDF air arm base. There is no base there. Pablo says he's right, but he said it. Who's right? Me or Boko? Boko's full of crap. Anyway, back to the news. Zimbabwe is now charging people who have WhatsApp groups taxes. Introduced new regulations requiring administrators of WhatsApp groups to register or secure a paid-for license. This directive was announced by the Minister of Information, Communication, Technology, Postal, and Courier Services at a breakfast meeting. Under the new rules, administrators of WhatsApp groups operating within Zimbabwe are required to pay a licensing fee to legally manage their platforms. The fees for registration start at $50 US, as much as $2,500 to have a WhatsApp group. Well, I have WhatsApp groups. Screw you, Zimbabwe. Backwoods Law says, what would you know about it? You just ran the operations there. Yep. Is Erica going to bed? Good night, Erica. There we go. Rant needed. Keep going, says African. It's a rumor to incite insurrection, says Peter Cavil. Yeah, exactly. It's utter nonsense. This is black supremacists, socialist scumbags who know nothing about what they're talking about and run their mouths. There's no base. To what end? If there were a base, why haven't we seen U.S. Army troops all over Botswana? Thousands of them. Thank you for the super chat. Moonbass. Yeah. Why haven't we seen it? Because it doesn't exist. Pablo says, Duma Book is worse than Masisi. Well, if he said that, we're off to a good start. He's a fucking moron if he said that. I'll tell you that right now. Profanity, sorry, it's there. I'm already not demonetized for this video because I played Tom McDonald, and I'm not deleting it. So, yeah. I know Rhodesia, I do not know Zimbabwe, says Pablo Charlie. Anyway, moving right along. Boeing will face a civil trial over the aircraft that nosedived from Ethiopia. Oof. Beleaguered aviation giant Boeing is set to confront another hurdle next week when it faces a civil trial over the March 2019 Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed 157 people. The trial is scheduled for federal court in Chicago. Originally included 6 plaintiffs, but all but one have settled. Wow. Scientists want to know why the U.S. takes 2 months to inaugurate the presidents after election. I explained this yesterday, and you must not have been here, but I'll explain again. Who is John Kerry? John Kerry. It's a kind of hard-to-hide U.S. Army bootprint in the country. Exactly, Backwoods Law. It's damn near impossible. I mean, first off, the Army is usually all white and all black, but it's not black African. Black Americans are not Africans. They stand out like a sore thumb in Africa. They stand out worse than white folks do. Next, where are they staying? If you have a base, an Army base, you're going to have hundreds of people. And those hundreds of people aren't going to be in Botswana without a status of forces agreement. A status of forces agreement would give them frequently their own license plates on their vehicles. Have you seen any U.S. Army license plates in Botswana? Never. You don't, because they don't exist. Have you ever seen a housing complex for U.S. military? We had U.S. military in Liberia, a small number of them, when we rebuilt the army, but this is nonsense. Again, that's why I said Savage Daughter, it's not directed at you, so don't take it. It wasn't directed at you. But I got a message from someone whom I know in South Africa who sent me a link to that video, and I looked at it. It's just utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. It's the base, no trouble. Oh, yeah. Why do they say take almost 2 months? Okay, scientists, I'm going to answer the question again. The USA takes 2 months for a couple of reasons. Number one, we don't elect presidents based on the popular vote. The popular vote determines how we elect the president, but we don't vote on base of the popular vote. In 48 of the 50 states, winner take all. So whoever gets the most votes gets all electoral votes and puts that in their pile. In Maine and Nebraska, it's broken down by congressional district, whoever wins congressional district and whoever wins a popular vote in the state. So you get a combination, and that's how they dole out their electoral votes. So population does play a role, but it's not quite the way that it does in many countries. So the Electoral College electors have to wait until the votes are certified. It takes time. As you can see, Arizona is cocking up their election. We're still waiting for them, although the decision desk is now giving it to Trump. But we're still waiting for Arizona to turn its results in complete. So they're given time to complete this. And you remember that America didn't have technology, didn't have machines, didn't have railroads, didn't have all this stuff. We used to be on horseback from place to place to get these results in, and there were no broadcast networks. It was all couriers when the country started. So there was time needed to get the votes counted in far-off counties in places like Pennsylvania or Virginia out in the woods, bring them in, count them, certify them, and then your certification must be delivered to the Electoral College, which meets in Washington, D.C. the first week of December, usually the 6th. They meet, they review it, and then they schedule a certification. The certification takes place the first week of January, and that's done after the new government is signed in. So the new Congress will be the people who vote to certify the president. So the people who are just elected. So the senators and congressmen are sworn in the first couple days of January. They're now the new Congress. The new Congress then meets to certify Electoral College results, which are forwarded to them. Then we have inauguration comes after that. Now, the reason it's up till January 20th is that gives November, December, and most of January, and there's a couple holidays in there, New Year's and Christmas, which disrupt things, but it gives the incoming administration a couple of months to link up and marry up and side by side, right seat ride with the outgoing administration in a perfect world. But Democrats are evil and they undermine this process. But that's the idea. And they work together and have a smooth transition. So you don't have a situation in which someone walks in, doesn't know anything about what's going on, doesn't have the phone numbers, doesn't have the passwords, doesn't have access to the drives, doesn't know anything. And then you waste time. So the idea is that the U.S. government has continuity and continues. This is a big operation in the U.S. government. And there's a super chat from Brett Sessoms. So I'm watching MSNBC and hearing the whining. I haven't watched it. Do you think Trump's Amish vote affect the results of PA? I don't know, Matt. You know, everybody keeps telling me the Amish. I don't know why so people are obsessed with the Amish. Black men, Hispanics, and Jews are why Trump won Pennsylvania. I don't know what the Amish did, but that's the reason why. Trump took 21% of black men in Pennsylvania. That's huge. Trump won a majority of Hispanics in Pennsylvania. That's huge. So that's where the difference is there. Salt Place, I'm informed that the U.S. Army have such good camouflage rooms. Why you don't see them? Okay, they're transparent. They've got a cloaking shield. Explains the process. The process is crap. Change the process. What? Our process is brilliant. It's not crap. At least we vote for the people represented and we can vote them out. You're stuck with the shitheads that you vote for because you vote for parties. And it doesn't matter whether they meet your needs. It's whether they meet the needs of John Steenhuisen and Helen Zilla and Julius Malema and, or, you know, in the case of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa and Fikile Mbalula. They answer to them, not to you. So our system is broken, Ken? I don't think so. Pan-African is another word for supremacy. Yes, it is. Yep. Maybe it's in Diego Garcia. Oh, it's all underground. Okay, all right, you got me, Arctic. It's underground. It's underground. So they never come out. They deploy there in the dark of night. They go underground, and that's where they spend their entire 3-year tours underground. They never come out. Sewage, food, all their needs are there. It's strange how you see convoy of trucks delivering things there. So, Incoming gave its best, Botswana entire subregion is doomed. Don't know about that. What happened to John Jarvis? Somebody said they're sorry. And there's Brett's super chat. Thank you for that, Brett. Gratitude expressed for your generous super chat was totally underwhelming. Seriously? Seriously? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, Moonbass, you're not disappointing. John Jarvis is taking a dig at me that I didn't say enough about your super chat. So I did recognize the 350 Rand super chat, Moonbass. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. But there's no question there. There was no statement there. There was no super sticker there. It was a what Ronaldo would call a stripper chat. So thank you for it once again. You notice John Jarvis has not super chatted, although he did on Ronaldo when I was there yesterday. Thank you, Moonbass. The Amish Club, the Dominion Machine, then voted by parchment. Probably. Savage Arts says, I heard of another YouTube channel, one you have appeared on. I will heed what you say. I do know Botswana tourism is big from Americans. The diamond mine is mined by Canadians. Okay, well, Savage Daughter, I don't know where you're from. Tourism is important in Botswana, but Americans are not a major component of it. They play a role, but Europeans play a bigger role. Germans in particular play a big role when it comes to tourism to Botswana and South Africa especially, and Namibia. But European tourism is bigger than American tourism to Botswana last time I checked. I haven't seen recent figures. As far as the rest of it, there is a Canadian company called Lucara that owns diamond concessions there, which they paid for. Botswana seem to think they got it for free. No, they paid for it, and then they have to pay huge royalties for the diamonds they mine. Now, the diamond mine they have is a mine that was disused. Their stock is trading for 35 cents and just lost 7% the other day, 8%. So Lucara, making diamond history. I am a shareholder. And anybody can be a shareholder when the stock costs $1, you know. But, so Lucara took over a disused diamond mine that the government of Botswana thought there was no diamonds left in. But they have much better technology and are much better at mining than Botswana in this type of mine. So they took over the Karaway mine, and they've come up with the biggest diamonds in Botswana's history year after year now for 4 years straight. That one there is 342 carat from July 2015. And, so this is who we're talking about, Lucara. Did Arctic just give a huge super chat? Oh my goodness, I'll recognize that. So so this is Lucara. It's a Canadian company. It is traded in Toronto. I bought it off the pink sheets, and I have it. Doring Hawk must be tuning in and watching the stream, not live. Brett says, wow, some super chats coming in now. Let's get those. Brett says, ANCMK Coalition works. In some places. And Doring says, love this song. I think Doring is watching it from the beginning and not caught up with us. Ken says, I didn't say I agree with ours. Okay, Ken. Okay, fair enough. Don't know about that. Name me one successful country in sub-Saharan Africa. Mauritius, Canary Islands, Rwanda, Botswana until Masisi. Yeah, lots of them. Skulk Yandrea says, sounds like people can't wait for President Trump to take office. Well, yeah. Scientist Trump should appoint Megyn Kelly. Yeah, actually, as White House spokesperson, she would be good. That's actually a good suggestion, scientist. Yep. Ronaldo didn't read my super chat either. Pablo Charlie, I read your super chat. Okay. MK wants to get rid of Roman law. Yeah, they've said that. Roman Dutch law. How big a role did AIPAC play in Trump's victory? I'm not sure it played a big role, Peter. I'm not sure it played a big role. Trump won big everywhere. He won big with gays, with Mexicans, black men, with Christians, with evangelicals, with Hispanics, Asians, he cleaned the table. Botswana should forget tourism and focus mainly on transition, pharmaceutical, banking, and IT hub. Pablo Charlie, I've been saying that for 25 years, not abandon tourism because it's high-end tourism. They make a ton of money off of it, but the money doesn't filter down to much of the population. It goes in the hands. Arctic gave $999. Come on, Jarvis, match this or shut up. Oh, John, Arctic. Woo! 1,000 Rand, brother. Thank you for that. Wow, I guess that takes care of my Druvus allotment. Peter Krevili says, how can you honestly say that? They want to scrap everything. Brett says, here is the thing. We knew where Al Gore stood in 2000 when I thought he was wrong. We knew where Biden stood. We didn't know where. We had no idea. We had no idea where she stood. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Brett. Wow. Wow, what's going on with the chat? Saturday. I'll have to do more streams on Saturday. Just keep Louis Liebenberg out of that mine, says Robert Rankin. Roman wannabe king, not president. I'm good either way, okay? My interest in Botswana as I was born there, 75. Oh, okay, a savage daughter. Yeah, okay, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, okay, Botswana. Yeah, no, so Lucara is not the only diamond mine. In fact, it's not even the biggest. The most valuable diamond mine until Lucara took the Caraway mine, the disused mine, and I don't know if it's the largest value mine. I don't think it is, but the largest has traditionally been the Jwaneng mine in the south. The highest dollar value ever from mining in diamond mining has come from the Jwaneng. I think 3/4 of the top quality diamonds for jewelry come from that mine historically. It's just an amazing place in Jwaneng. It's been going on for a long time. A long time. Big role played by Laura Trump to stop another one. Yeah, that's true, Arctic. That's true. Heard about this U.S. base in Botswana, the same as UK base in Lesotho. Where does it come from? Because idiots on YouTube who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because people are stupid. They'll believe anything. They'll believe anything. Constitutional monarchy or absolute, either way, it's better compared to silly republicanism. Disagreed, Pablo Charlie. Brett says Benin was okay until Prince Talon, Rwanda, Botswana, until Masisi. Yeah, no, things change. America was okay until Obama. Or maybe you could say Bush, or maybe say Clinton. Plenty of subgenre leaders are highly intelligent. Yep, Benin is poor. Rwanda is a banana republic. Uganda is the same as banana republic. Uganda is a banana republic. I live there. I wouldn't say Rwanda is a banana republic. I'd just say it's a fascist totalitarian state. So, Colonel, do you think that in the 2029 national election, if the DA, or for example, won, they would be able to immediately scrap? Well, the DA is not going to win in 2029. In fact, I'm not even sure what's going to be left of the DA by 2029. The cowardice on display by the DA in the case of Ronaldo Khuz, whether you like him or dislike him, people can see that the Democratic Alliance is self-serving. Helen Zille said things far more egregious than Ronaldo did. She said it while serving as the head of the Western Cape government. And she remains in the party. Ronaldo Khuz said something as a young man that was completely taken out of context, and it wasn't his true feelings. He never directed at any individual. He did an academic video, and his political career was destroyed because of the cowardice of the Democratic Alliance. Now we see further cowardice on the case of John Steenhuisen, who has abandoned Roman Kabanak, whom he hired. Roman gave up his career as a broadcaster to be the chief of staff for John Steenhuisen, only for John Steenhuisen to be the wuss and abandon him when he did nothing wrong. Yeah, so. Are you going to be select Tim Priest? Oh, my goodness, that wouldn't be the Tim Priest that I know from Bad Kreuznach. I'll pass out if it is. Going to be selected as ambassador to South Africa, Germany. I don't know, Tim, but someone's telling me get a hold of McGregor. I would like to be the ambassador to South Africa, but that's highly unlikely. I don't sell handbags, so sounds like a politician to me. Change in meaning of democracy, no longer for benefit of the majority, but for the benefit of minorities. African countries are hostile towards others whenever we like it or not. We see how brutal acted British. Okay. By the way, Chris, I don't think that number of subscribers means anything. People subscribe and forget about it. Number of views is better if you're I disagree for the following reason, Ken. You're onto something. It doesn't matter when it comes to viewership. You're correct there. I mean, look, I'm drawing bigger numbers than Ronaldo right now. He's got 125,000 viewers, and that's not a competition with Ronaldo. It's a statement of fact. Now, he's getting more views on his prepared videos than I do, which just shows you how YouTube focus on certain things. But you're right, Ken. It's how many people actually watch. We have about 100 watching right now. How many actually pay attention? You are 100% correct. The problem with the argument, though, is that, as I've said many, many times, I won't get Donald Trump because I don't have 800,000 subscribers. But if I had 800,000 subscribers with my CV and my interviewing skills, I could probably get Donald Trump, just like this young 20-some-year-old kid got him. Call Me Daddy got Kamala Harris, and they built her a $300,000 set. So she, and only 1 million people watched it. The point is that subscriber numbers do matter when you're trying to get people to come on your program. One of the reasons why I had a hard time getting John Steenhuisen on my program and Helen Zille balked after she promised to come to the program is that I simply didn't have the reach in their eyes that they wanted. And so getting people to come on your program, I mean, some people are just good people like me. They'll go on any program as long as people aren't racist and they're happy to share. Dr. Victor Davis Hanson came on my program when it was a very small channel. We had him on, and then we shot up to 20,000 and came back on the program. Right now, I'm not getting an answer from his personal assistant. She's not being very helpful. She promised me months ago he'd be back on the program, and so I've been waiting 9 months to get him back on, but I'll keep trying. But the point is that the subscriber numbers matter to show the size of the channel. It matters. It matters from that standpoint. So, I mean, if I had 1 million subscribers and only 3,000 watched every show, I'm fine with that. If I had 1 million subscribers and 55 watched, then that'd be a problem. Awkward Land says, it's strange that in a conservative country, most of the major parties are left-leaning. Not really, when you understand that what's been happening is that the left has been taking over institutions like education, like in South Africa. And then beyond, they take over all the civic groups, and then they take over the corporate headquarters. And then suddenly they are indoctrinating people and pushing in the wrong direction. Ken says, I don't understand the algorithms. No, Ken. Okay, no. Come on, Ken. You're right about the algorithms. The more you chat right now, if you guys just start chatting and saying things there, come on, let's do a test here. I want everybody that's currently watching who's chatting to just type a couple sentences or say this, that, and other. Do a couple. Do a bunch of chats right now. And you'll watch, if you all do it for a couple minutes, you'll watch the number of people zoom up. We have 88 currently watching according to this studio, although the actual number's over there. So there you go. Pablo Charlie started off WhatsApp. I say that. Yeah, exactly. Do that for a couple minutes. Well, I just dropped to 82. What the hell happened there? But the algorithm is set up so that the more interaction, the more likely it is to promote your channel. So it'll take a little bit of time. There you go. Just do it. Trump deserved to win the elections. There you go, guys. There you go. That's the way to do it. Chat. There you go. Chris is the bone. That should drive a viewership. So, Ken, you're right about the algorithm in that respect. But the algorithm is something people are always trying to guess. It's always changing. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is what happens. If you watch like the live streams when Trump speaks or when Ramaphosa speaks and you watch the chat, you'll watch the numbers go up because they start promoting the video because, wow, there's something going on here. There's interest going on here. Yep. It went down by 8, Ken. So the chat's going so fast. Well, it's not going that fast because I didn't put it on slow. Yeah, but it is fun to watch. Seeing that work with engagement, making the video be pushed out to more viewers. Yes, hello, Tiff. That's what I'm talking about. That's what happened. So we probably got the trolls leaving. Yeah, the trolls are leaving because they're trying to make a point. So that just shows you there were about 8 trolls here. My mind's going blank, says Pablo Charlie. You guys are killing it, man. You're killing it. But I mean, that's what happens. But Ken, yeah. So look, again, I don't get excited about the size, but it is nice to have a size that you can draw a guest on the program. Remember that this program was focused extensively on interviewing people for a long time. I haven't done as many interviews of late because it's time consuming and just people aren't interested in coming on. All right, so all advertising crap. So let me see if we've gained any subscribers today. I don't think we have. Well, since the stream started, I should say. Yeah, not today. Yeah, I lost 3 subscribers. Oh, the trolls are having fun. The chat did help the rugby channel. That's right, a lot. And that always happens on the rugby. So I've lost 3 subscribers since I asked people to chat more. Oh, my goodness. This is smart asses out there. On the rugby channel, Rugby Senate, Maryland's correct. What happens is that when I get animated, when something happens, I don't know how that fits in an algorithm, but people chat more and either it's me or them or a combination, and suddenly the video gets promoted. A whole bunch of people come in. We see it like today we saw in the England game, we went from 130 people watching to 250 in like a minute. And then we were able to keep that audience around 230 for several minutes as they tried to figure out what I'm doing. Thank Lord you took that shirt off, says Savage Daughter. I would love to interview Jeffrey Sachs. I disagree with him on many things. I think it's juvenile for such a great guy. Yep. No, but Tofu, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. On this channel, I used to do rants, serious rants, but I don't want to pop an aneurysm in my head, so I'm not doing that much anymore. Thank you, Brett. Jackson, Mississippi mayor has been indicted on federal bribery charges as corrupt race hustler. Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Named after Lumumba. I really enjoyed celebrating Trump's win, says Alwyn Fredericks. Me too. Thank you. Back to 100 here. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, so when I go on a rant and people start chatting, wow, Italy's doing well. I said Argentina's going to win that game. So we'll see. Yeah, it's just, look, it's YouTube. Yeah, you figured it out. So anyway, back to the news. We've been all over the place on this show today. So Al Jazeera says, with the Trump win, Africa braces for U.S. aid cuts. No, that's nonsense. You have no evidence of that whatsoever. Yeah, it could force African nations to double down on their shift away from the U.S. towards Asia and the Middle East, say analysts. So why in the world would Trump do that? The sanctions are gone. The East African country's parliamentary speaker told Parliament, hinting at our expectation of improved ties to the U.S. under Trump. The speaker is one of a series of Ugandan officials who have been barred from entering the U.S. in recent years because of allegations of human rights violations. Yeah, anyway, Trump is not going to do anything different in Africa than his predecessors have. Chad says airstrikes have killed scores of Boko Haram fighters. Chadi military airstrikes killed scores of Boko Haram fighters and injured several dozen more in the Lake Chad Basin, according to President Mahamat Idris Deby. Wow. This is after Boko Haram killed 40 Chadian soldiers in an attack on a garrison last month. They struck back and have killed a bunch, according to them. Australia is still logging in the last redoubt of the koalas. Australia's koala population is in danger, but efforts to create a new sanctuary are contentious with environmentalists in the forest industry at loggerheads. There you go. There's a little koala, those big ears. Shays Knob State Forest, the ecologist drove his weathered pickup truck through. Anyway, this is koala habitat. There you go. But they are timbering it. The mountains of the distance are part of the Great Escarpment, the spine of the proposed Great Koala National Park. Yep, there you go. Ah, the koalas. Just like you eat those eucalyptus trees and gum trees. Yep. Nancy Pelosi is blaming Joe Biden for the loss. It would have been different. Yeah, it would have been different if your troll ass wasn't in the House. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi laid the blame for Vice President Kamala Harris's election defeat at the feet of President Biden, saying he should have dropped out. Had the president gotten out sooner, there may have been other candidates in the race. Now, if you hadn't stolen the nomination from Democratic voters, it wouldn't have happened. So, the New York Times is refusing to give Arizona to Trump yet, and they have him at 301. But that is an important threshold for Donald Trump to cross 301 votes. 83% of the votes in Arizona. Trump now at 1.5 million. And Kamala Harris, there's no way she catches up. She's behind by 7%. His lead continues to grow, now 7% in Arizona. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Let's take a look at the numbers for Carrie Lake in the Senate there. Carrie Lake is now trailing by 34,000 votes. Well, she can still make that up, but that's going to be a tight one for her. Going to be a tight one. Donald Trump's advisors are ramping up on the mass deportation plan. Yes, advisors to President-elect Donald Trump are drawing plans to carry out his mass deportation pledge, including discussing how to pay for it. Yeah, and weighing a national emergency declaration would allow the incoming administration to repurpose military assets. Well, I think they should. But of course, they'll call him a dictator if he does that. Governors and attorneys general are ramping up the treason against the incoming administration. Leaders from at least 5 states made similar announcements about challenging the incoming administration's policies. Wow. Officials in states including California, New York, Illinois, Washington, and New Jersey are preparing to contest President-elect Donald Trump's incoming policies related to immigration, abortion, and environmental regulations when he assumes office. Well, it doesn't matter what Trump says about abortion. He has no control over it. He does control immigration, and he does control environmental regulations. Yep. So these are treasonous bastards who are seeking to undermine the incoming government because they don't like democracy. They're all for democracy, and they claim Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, but they're the ones who stole the nomination from Joe Biden. They're the ones that are now ramping up resistance against the federal government in a federal system. Who is the threat to democracy? The Democrats. Well, it's all Biden's fault. They are pouring on now. Op-ed piece in the New York Times by Joe Barrows says Kamala Harris lost the election, but I mostly don't blame her. At least I don't blame her because of anything she did recently. Yeah, he blames Joe Biden. I blame the Democrats. You idiots, your policies are the problem. You let our country be invaded. So what happened? Well, Kamala Harris lost Arab and Muslim Americans. Harris lost ground with Arab Americans and Muslim voters because of the Biden administration's support for Israel. According to the Council on Human American Islamic Relations, CARE, largest Muslim advocacy group in the U.S. time elections, Jill Stein got 42% of the Muslim vote in the U.S., with Harris at 41%, and Trump got 10%. Trend would bear fruit for Trump in Dearborn, which is one of the highest concentration of Arab Americans in the U.S. 47% voted for Trump. He got 47% of Arabs in Dearborn, Michigan. Not all of whom are Muslims, by the way. Some are Christians. Well, Americans staged a property tax revolt of sorts in Florida and Georgia. Wow. They put limits on property taxes, and North Dakota rejected a complete ban. Yeah, people are fed up with being robbed. Folks, I just did the math the other day. If I didn't have a mortgage on this house, I owned it outright, I would still be a debt slave to the local political jurisdiction and to the insurance company for my home. This is not a wealthy home. This is middle class at best. And my insurance and taxes have trebled in the past few years and now cost me nearly $900 a month to live here. $900. At least these idiots like Holcomb and Newsom finally believe in states' rights. Yeah, isn't that funny? Now states' rights matter. Scientists would appear so, but with their system, who knows? What did the scientists say? Will you accept if offered position in new administration? Possibly, scientists. Depends on what the position is. USA, like France, would never have a female leader. It's just not a DA. I disagree, Peter. Disagree. Well, at least these idiots Qatar has asked Hamas leaders to leave the country. Good. The Trump effect. If possible, one needs to own their own home. Well, I'm still a debt slave to the local jurisdiction and the insurance company. $900 a month. Well, it's $800. So $820 a month. $820 a month. That's insane. BlackRock is not going to own houses, please. Jackie Rosen is declared the winner in Nevada over the veteran who's horribly scarred from a roadside improvised explosive device. Yep. So Rosen pulls it out. She got a bunch of votes in the end. Former computer programmer and a synagogue president promised a bipartisan approach. Well, she's never been bipartisan for a second. Yeah, voting in Nevada is completely by mail, and they count ballots for 4 days after the election. That's hardly fair. So people got to change the outcome. So they revved up the Democratic machine to mail in ballots after it was clear that Sam Brown was going to win the election. That's not elections. That's just fraud. Ron DeSantis orders a probe of the FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, workers skipping homes that have Trump signs. Governor DeSantis Friday ordered an investigation into reports that workers with the Federal Emergency Management Agency are skipping the homes of President-elect Donald Trump's supporters while surveying damage from Hurricane Milton. He wrote on Twitter that he directed the state's Division of Emergency Management to probe the federal government's targeted discrimination of Floridians who support Trump. The blatant weaponization of government by partisan activists in the federal bureaucracy is just another reason why the Biden-Harris regime is in its final days. New leadership is on the way in D.C., and I'm optimistic these partisan bureaucrats will be fired. Well, I hope so. Government workers told the news outlet that at least 20 homes with Trump signs or flags were skipped from the end of October into November because of an order from FEMA. That means that Trump supporters were not notified or given the opportunity to apply for FEMA emergency management assistance. Wow. So this is weaponizing the government against your opponents, which they claim they're not doing. Well, Americans have delivered a very clear message, according to the Washington Post. At least they're waking up. The Democrats aren't awake, but these people are. The economy isn't working. That's the message sent to Democrats. Americans told Democratic Party this week that the economy, even beyond inflation, isn't working for them, thrusting party leaders into a scramble for a new economic strategy that can reverse the losses of working class voters. Ain't going to happen while Trump's president. Ain't going to happen. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's the news for today. It took us a while to get through all of it. Quite a while, actually. Hour and a half. 95 people here. If you do take on a position, don't forget your friend. Skulk, if I do take on a position, if something were offered to me, or even if I seek employment, I will continue to try to do videos as long as it is not a conflict. That was a question I had if I actually got elected to the legislature. When I ran in the primaries, if I got elected, my first stop would be the ethics office to ask about me continuing doing this. It shouldn't be a problem, but I was going to ask about it. Housing debate for another forum. I agree. Bernie Bauer says, what's your take on the Western Cape independence effort? It seems to me as if it has gone into hibernation. It has, Bernie. The referendum party campaigned on that, and they did extremely poorly. I know Phil Craig. I've hung out with him. I've interviewed him. I know Des Palm. I know Hein Marks. Hein has kind of stepped away from it. That whole thing is kind of, that doesn't mean it's dead. It just means it's fizzled out for the moment. When the election was over in May 29th and the referendum party did so poorly, my argument was that the Cape independence discussion should be tabled for at least 6 months before people can bring it back up. And it seems to have been the case. In the Western Cape independence, says Pablo Charlie. Did some countries also weaponize council workers? They took down Trump signs as refuse. But well, Keith, I don't know about that. What I can tell you is during my election, township workers in Newberry Township stole my signs in official capacity. They walked around and removed them. You cannot touch a sign like that on private property. That's a criminal act in Pennsylvania. That's a misdemeanor for taking that sign down right there. Yet my signs were on people's property in Newberry Township, located east of here, and municipal workers were spotted by a Republican Party official stealing my signs. And when they went to find the signs, because they're normally taken to the township building, which was only about a kilometer from where this took place, my opponent's signs that were removed were there. And the opponent that won the race, his signs weren't touched. But one other opponent, they took her signs. Her signs were in the township. My signs were taken to the county transportation office, the warehouse building located about 40 kilometers south. And when I went to collect them, they were closed at a time they're supposed to be open. This is the sort of shit that goes on in politics. My signs cost me $7 to $9.50 each, and I paid for them. And stealing my signs. Of my, 600 signs at least, easily 100 were stolen or mutilated during the campaign by my Republican opponent. I have spoken to Jack Miller on multiple occasions, and I saw Jack on Election Day in Rondebosch. Yep. Bernie, they assure us that things are moving forward. Bye, Brett. Thanks for the Super Chats. Wow, it's been a really good Super Chat day. Thank you. That 1,000 Rand Super Chat from Arctic was pretty awesome. It's still up there. And Moonbass, it's 350s up there. Thank you, guys. That's pretty awesome. Really appreciate it. So that's 1350. Yes, it's been a been a good Super Chat day. I noticed that John Jarvis didn't put a Super Chat in there. Mike says, get it. I had many arguments on what is private property. Yeah, no, private property when it's in someone's yard. I'm not talking about the easement. You know, property easements, that's also my property, but I have responsibility for it, and the local government can use it. And that's why they rip up my front yard and put in Verizon fiber optic a couple of years back. And now I've got this stupid plate out there I have to mow over. But that's because it's on the easement. The easement is there for public access, and that's where the sidewalk is at, so the public can walk on the sidewalk. But I have to mow. I have to clean up. I have to clean debris. If branches fall off a tree, I have to do that. I have to make sure the tree doesn't block the route. So, yes, you can't steal signs off there. That's a misdemeanor. And Department of Transportation can try to play their argument. But my signs were removed from meters inside a person's yard. This guy has a big yard. It's a hill. And my signs were easily 15 feet into the property, and they stole them. So that's illegal. What else we got here? Housing is a debate. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon are just cashing in while it's election. Yes, they don't care. They never have cared. None of those people care. Rachel Maddow, she's just a money grubber, just like the rest of them. Yeah. So Bernie, I answered the question on that. Okay. What else? Hannah Paluna at 29. Carrie Lake in Arizona, do you think she'll be robbed again? Well, Peter, you came in late. I talked about this earlier. I've covered this analysis. I said I went through Cochise County. I went through Yavapai County, and also Maricopa County. And I looked at the results. I think she can still do it, but I'm not high on that possibility. Not high on the possibility. It's a possibility, but I'm not high on it. Okay, folks, been 90 minutes here. We've got 600 views. Thank you for that. 14 minutes, the average view. A lot of Super Chat cash came in today, and wow, wasn't expecting that. That's pretty exciting. That actually exceeds this month's total in just one day. Wow, you guys rock. And, okay, I got the subscribers. I think people were playing games earlier when we were talking about, getting the channel attention. But what I told you, Ken, earlier, generally activity on the channel, comments on videos that are posted, lots of chat in the chat session tends to, how is solar doing today? Yeah, it's been okay of late, but it's much down from what it is in the summertime. Let me take a look and see. Solar, 17.1 today. Yesterday I got 26.8. The day before 24. The day before it was cloudy, 14. For the month, that's 200, but that's 1/3 of the days for the month. So I'm going to get like 650 for the month. That sucks. Whereas last month I got, hang on a second, year. So in October, 827 kilowatts. September, 756 was terrible because we had the storms from the hurricanes. August also had the storms, 969. July, 1.5 megawatts I produced. In June, 1.19, almost 1.2 megawatts. It was the best, 977. It's only 2 months this year I had a megawatt, but hey, you know, whatever. It is what it is. We haven't peaked yet right now. It's at, well, it's about the peak point a day here. So it's produced 9.6 megawatts lifetime. So this year I should get it to, well, it'll be close to 10, by the end of the year, close to 10 megawatts. Not going to quite make it. For this year, though, it'll go over 9. So remember, we started November last year. So anyway, that's where it's going. Thanks a lot, Backwoods. Zuma will rule upon us. Okay. Ron is here. Everybody's taking off. So let's say goodbye. Okay. All right. So we're 13 subscribers away from, oh, my tab just crashed. Can you believe that? Stupid stuff. Content. Live. YouTube. What is the deal here? It's not my browser. My browser isn't. Now that Trump has won, doesn't want us to have Western Cape independence so we can have prosperity too. I never said you should or shouldn't have Western Cape prosperity. I've covered the subject objectively, and I've answered the question about whether it can succeed. It can succeed. There's no problem with defense, no problem with border security, no problem with trade. It's very simple, easy to do. You can do it all on a one sheet of paper, and it's solved. Yep. Rather see represent Starlink. Well, you know, that's an idea too, Peter. I'd love to be, you know, the guy running Starlink and sell that. That'd be pretty cool. Yep. Anyway, so Pablo Charlie, you are misrepresenting my position. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good day. I need to get something to eat. I'm really running out of juice here, and I need to make a video on the EFF. So thanks for being here. All right, we'll catch you guys later. God bless and have a good one. All right, cheers. Really appreciate it.